Good afternoon. Here is Global News. I am Moninkanola Ogidan in the news. Egyptians approve constitutional changes through referendum. Court jails activists in Hong Kong. North Korea leader arrives Russia for bilateral summit. President Muhammadu Buhari has arrived Lagos on a one-day working visit. The president was received by Lagos State Governor Akinwumi Ambode. Also present are Governor Oluwarotimi Akeredolu, Ibikunle Amosun, Abiola Ajimobi, Kayode Fayemi, as well as Lagos State Governor-elect Babajide Sanwo-Olu, his deputy Obafemi Hamzat, among others. While in the state, President Buhari will commission a number of projects including the Ainke House, an ultra-modern maternity hospital at Lagos State University Teaching Hospital. Other projects to be commissioned by the president include the 10-lane Oshodi Murtala Mohammed International Airport. Now, the Minister of Labour and Employment, Dr. Chris Ngige, says tackling the menace of unemployment in Nigeria is not a job of government alone. He made the disclosure while speaking with newsmen in Abuja. The minister also advised unemployed Nigerians to look away from white-collar jobs in a bid to reduce unemployment rates. He also explained that the industries have not picked up because power problem has not been addressed. He assured that the government is tackling the problems facing the power sector. Away from Nigeria now, Egyptians have overwhelmingly approved constitutional changes that could allow President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi to stay in power. They gave the approval in a referendum. The National Election Authority said 88.8% of those who took part in the referendum endorsed the proposal. Mr. Sisi's second term has been extended from 4 to 6 years, and he will be allowed to stand for one more term. The changes also give him more power over the judiciary and further enshrine the military's role in politics. In 2013, Mr. Sisi led the military's overthrow of Egypt's first democratically elected president, Mohamed Morsi, following protests against his rule. The White House has refused to meet an extended deadline to deliver President Trump's tax returns to Congress. Means Committee Chairman Richard Neal had said failure to comply with the April 23rd deadline would be interpreted as a denial of request. Mr. Trump says he does not want his information disclosed and he will not release his tax returns while under audit. However, Democrats have warned that legal action could follow. Officials say one of the attackers behind the Easter Sunday bombings in Sri Lanka studied in the UK. This is as further details on the bombers emerge. The country's Deputy Defence Minister said the bomber studied in the UK before doing a course in Australia. Sri Lanka's Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe said the Islamic State group may be linked to the blasts. Islamic State has said it is responsible for the attacks, although it has not provided direct evidence of its involvement. You're on to Global News from Adaba 88.9 FM Akure, and we're transmitting from Ilara Moki. We'll take a break now, and when we return, judge jails activists in Hong Kong, plus North Korea leader arrives Russia for bilateral summit. We'll bring you details of the stories and more shortly. Stay with us. Many thanks for staying tuned. For news update and live streaming, visit our website www.adaba889.fm or download Adaba 88.9 FM app on Google Play Store. Like us on Facebook, www.facebook.com/AdabaFM 88.9. Follow us on Instagram as well as on Twitter at Adaba 889FM. You can also subscribe to our YouTube channel on Adaba 88.9 FM TV. To the rest of the news now, a judge in Hong Kong has sentenced 4 activists to 16 months in prison for their role in pro-democracy demonstrations. 4 others received suspended sentences, while another activist had sentencing deferred until June. Earlier this month, the 9 activists were found guilty over their involvement in the Umbrella Movement. Demonstrators paralyzed Hong Kong in 2014 when they demanded the right for the territory to pick its leaders. China has shown off a new type of destroyer at a celebration to mark 70 years since its navy was created. Reports say the ship was one of dozens that took part in an international gathering opened by China's President Xi Jinping to demonstrate its military might. North Korean leader Kim Jong-un is in the Russian Far East for a summit with President Vladimir Putin. It will be his first talks with the Russian president. Mr. Kim is seeking support after talks with U.S. President Donald Trump collapsed. And now sports. Luis Ortiz will not replace Jarrell Miller as World Heavyweight Champion Anthony Joshua's opponent on June the 1st. Joshua was due to fight Miller at New York's Madison Square Garden, but Miller was denied a license after an adverse finding from a sample taken on March the 20th. King Kong Boxing accused Joshua's promoter Eddie Hearn of using Ortiz as a gimmick. A new opponent for Joshua is expected to be announced this week. Among those under consideration are Ortiz, Poland's Adam Konaki, and American Michael Hunter. And now to end global news, a recap of our top stories. Egyptians have approved constitutional changes that could allow President Fattah al-Sisi to stay in power. We also brought you a report that 4 activists who took part in the pro-democracy demonstrations in Hong Kong have been sentenced to prison. And finally, North Korean leader Kim Jong-un has arrived in Russia for a summit with President Vladimir Putin. That ends Global News as edited by Patience Ibe. I'm Moninkanola Ogidan. Thank you for listening. Good afternoon.